Okay, recording this video. It is Thursday, 5th of February 2015. Recording this video at 2:49 p.m. Chicago time. Hope you had a good day's trading today. Want to talk about RAMBO patterns in today's video because we had a heap of them on the 1500 tip bar chart. But before doing that, just a recap from Sunday's video where we talked about the importance of support at 1981, and if we broke that 1981 level, potentially it would take us into a strong little downtrend. Well, we did get the break Sunday into Monday morning. We had some nice little kind of trendy activity on the way down on Monday and got us into the low during the day was 73.75, but that's as far as it went. No one wanted to take it any further. So since then, what we've done is on the 45-minute chart, we have printed pullback to end of trend. All these blue professional down bars that we've had that we kind of broke the lows of, we have come back above those and we're breaking into an uptrend on the 45-minute chart. It's a nice little triple. Remember the three things I look for, the three kind of non-correlated indicators. Price with better sine wave is forming pullback to end of trend, so price has maxed out in terms of a trend move here. We've got less selling going on, so we've got an exhaustion sell signal on a left shoulder here. When we test it, we put in bullish divergence, so there's less selling going on there, and we get a bounce from there. And the third thing is blue professional bars. Blue professional bars down at the lows here. Yep, we initially kind of break them, but we immediately come back up, close above those, and get this thing going on the upside. So it was a little reversal. We did break the 81 level, some nice little trending activity on the Monday morning, but since then, we've been this uptrend kind of making new highs. On the daily chart, actually, I'll just back it down here and just show you. This is a critical level that we've come to kind of up here in the high 50s. It's an area where we've found resistance previously. Put in a RAMBO pattern with today's activity. It's kind of reminiscent of this RAMBO activity kind of laterally here. But we're in a little bit of an uptrend, so I'm not sure where we're going to go from here, whether we have a little bit of a weakness into tomorrow and then kind of continue up to make our pullback to end of trend, or how this is going to play out. Certainly with today's activity, if you look at the total volume, it's fairly weak. We've just cracked 1 million contracts traded. It's 2:51, so we've got some time to run on the clock before the day is out, but we're closing above cyclical resistance here on the daily chart. So that's pretty important. That might take us into another kind of trendy move on the way up, and then versus bonds in the end, we're kind of oversold at the moment. So let's see, the 81 level was important, but when we had a break, it was a false break. We kind of bounced up from 70, so we've been in an uptrend ever since Monday morning. Anyway, let's talk about RAMBO patterns on the 1500 tip bar chart. Normally on the 1500 tip bar chart, you get one or two during a day. With today's activity, we got a heap of them. As I bunched this chart up a little bit so you can see the activity since the open on the 1500 tip bar chart, and you can see we've got a couple here and then one on the upside, one on the downside here. We've got a whole family of them here, a couple going on here, one here, a couple down here, then later on the day we get another couple of RAMBO patterns here. So RAMBO, quick recap, stands for potential reversal of an amateur breakout. So that's the RAMBO for reversal amateur breakout. And what it shows is the breakout, either a break up to the upside or a break down to the downside, is being led by the amateurs. And we can tell that because the average trade size is small. So that means it's kind of a weak break. And what I interpret was going on today was the amateurs were trying to catch a reversal day all day. They were trying to get short. As soon as their moving averages kind of rolled over and went the other way, they were kind of getting short in any kind of significant breaks here. So the first one that we got, kind of coming up to 9 in the morning, we had this little blow-off activity, and then as soon as we came away from those highs, they were kind of trying to get short at this point. You often get these little RAMBO to RAMBO channels, and that's because the amateurs are going short here. They place their stops a couple of points above their entry and around the previous high because they're not that confident in their move. And so as soon as the move kind of moves a couple of points against them, they get taken out, and we see another RAMBO pattern being shown on the opposite side, and that's a RAMBO to RAMBO channel. So maybe they're being stopped out of that point or trying to go long on a new breakout. Again, does not work out for them. They come down the other way. As soon as we're making kind of testing that lows again, they're trying to get short again with another RAMBO pattern. They get kind of stopped out of their move, and we kind of go the other way. Another kind of weak point here, the moving averages will be turning over they'll be thinking we're kind of breaking down to significant support levels. We've got to go short. Today's a reversal day. No, get it wrong again and again, and it happens kind of later on the day here. Talk about the critical 11 a.m. window. 11 a.m. was just here on the chart, and I say if by 11 a.m. we have not had a reversal, then it's unlikely that the day will be a reversal day. Obviously there are kind of exceptional days. That rule does not work 100% of the time. FOMC days will be exceptional days. We'll always get some volatility when we have big announcements at the end of the day. But if we've not rolled over by 11 in the morning, it's unlikely that we're going to roll over for that day. And they were trying to get short all morning, and when that did not work out for them, we just kind of cruised up to kind of new highs, kind of just break the highs by a little bit, kind of each way, because that 11 a.m. window has shut. So the way to trade the Rambo patterns is, first of all, if you're in a position and you're kind of going with the amateurs and you see a Rambo pattern, you've kind of gone short here, just be very wary, be ready to jump out if it kind of doesn't go your way. I also used it today to re-enter into a trade. So into this little sequence here, breaking up to new highs, we had a strong move from the sell-off that we had yesterday afternoon into the overnight. The overnight was moving quite strongly. If we were going to have a reversal day today, it would have been after an exhaustion pattern. So I'm always looking for that exhaustion pattern during the full liquidity of the day, which is what I mean by that is while the day session is open. So everybody's at that trading desks. A reversal happening kind of pre-open does not have the commitment of everybody kind of involved in the market. So I always look for those patterns during the full liquidity of the day, during the day session. So I'm looking for that exhaustion pattern, so I'm going long before getting into that, and this trade was long 46.75. The initial target got hit, but I moved my target out to 52.75, and it didn't get there by this time around. So this little move here was a half point short of there. So I got out, instead of taking my initial 4 out, I only got 3 out of that move. But I was able to re-enter on those Rambo patterns here just to take out a couple of points from 49.5 to 51.5. So I'll tag on that trade there. You can use them for these little kind of jumps kind of the other way. I never get greedy when I'm re-entering after the exhaustion pattern here, because I don't know if that day is going to be a reversal day and we're going to roll over, and I don't know whether the previous high is going to get hit or not. We did actually end up going through it and triggered a whole bunch of stops kind of up there, but we quickly kind of lost our way and went the other way. So all I was looking for was an extra couple of points during this move here, and that made up for a losing trade where I went long first thing in the morning at 46, where I just got out with 1 3/4 loss because I kind of lost my nerve on that first one. So ended up being a nice day. It's kind of always satisfying to recoup a little loss that you make like that with a little kind of trade. I find those kind of quite satisfying, picking out a couple of points on those, and that's the way I would use Rambo patterns. Be careful if you've entered a trade and all of a sudden a Rambo pattern prints. Just be wary of your trade, that it could kind of go against you kind of quickly, and then also use them to kind of pick off a couple of points kind of going the other way against them if the amateurs have just got the direction wrong. They're kind of going short too early at this point. So there we go, a couple of rules of thumb today. The 11 a.m. window closed and we had not reversed, and so we kind of kept on break to new highs. And the second one is using those little Rambo patterns to make kind of little scalping trades. So hope your trading's going well and looking forward to Friday. Just gone long 49.50, long 49.50, and I'm just moving my targets to 51.50. And couple of reasons for that. First is I know we've had exhaustion by bearish divergence and we're trying to make a topping out pattern, but we've got to go for a little bit of a blow off move. Support here, just come in on 1500. We're making a pullback to dirty end of trend on 500, and this has come with Rambo patterns, 2 of them, which is quite a strong kind of signal. That means the amateurs are trying to get short way too early. Well, not way too early, but too early. So they've got to be stopped out. Previous high is 52 and a quarter, so I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for 51.5. Got 3 on the last move, which was nice, but I've got this little loss of 1 3/4 on the first trade, I want to pick back up. So just want a little pop up to 51.5. Bingo, just taken out 51.50 just for a little too. Thank you very much. And here's the Rambo patterns, the opposite of these Rambo patterns, kind of going short. So Rambo to Rambo channel here. Yeah, we're coming to the previous high, 52.25. No, it's too much for me. I'm just wary that we could turn around at this after this exhaustion with this support to resistance move. Anyway, so I think that's me done for today, 9:07 AM.